So we started farming here. My father bought this farm about 30 years ago with about 500 sheep and 15 cows. Eventually we decided to give that up just before foot and mouth, and then we decided that I would have a go at putting a poultry unit up. So that's the line we went. So we started off with a 22,000 flat deck. That went quite successful, so we looked at extending from there quietly on. So about 5 years later we got a further 16,000 passed. So we put that one up, and then we wanted to grow that one into a 32,000. So now we've got the birds up to 64,000 birds, which all in all works very well for the farm. For feed and pullets, we decided to go with Humphrey's feed. For the eggs, we send them over to Anglia. We always try and get over 330 eggs per bird after 72 weeks. Anything less than that, quite disappointed, to be honest with you. So obviously we've got to manage the bird feather cover. We don't want them eating too much food because that's very expensive. So we're keeping and monitoring, rationing their feed, making sure that's right, keeping the water clean. And overall, if you just do the little details, you'll end up with the eggs. So manure on farm, every Monday and Friday is taken out from the sheds. A local farmer contractor buys it off me, and he sells it on to other individual farmers. So every time it's taken straight off site, so it works for us quite well. Flock age at the moment is 25 weeks. Obviously we've had the bird flu lockdown. They've been held in a few more weeks than they normally would have been, so by now they'd normally be out. Always like to get the birds out as early as possible, get less stress, keep the feather cover on. We find it works very well for us for that reason alone. So all eggs are packed in one shed, so we have a long conveyor which is about 130 metres long. Obviously in there one bloke then can grade and sort all the eggs, while another person could just be going around the sheds picking up any system eggs that you may have, checking all the different things with the birds. So efficiency, it works really, really well. BFREPA gave me a phone call to see if we were willing to look with Promar into our carbon footprint. So I jumped at the chance. It's something that does interest me going forward. I think it's something that we'll all have to be doing anyway before too long. It was quite simple really. They were asking a few questions. We knew most of them because we try and keep as much data on everything that we do anyway. Basically wanted to know how much feed per bird we done over a crop, which we knew that. How many eggs per bird that we did over that crop also. And then mortality. They were looking also about how if we got any renewables. So we've done 50 kilowatts of solar panels back 6-7 years ago. So they took that into account of offset. Wanted to know also what tree planting we'd done. We'd done about 75 acres 3 years ago. The data that they were after, most farmers would have that on farm anyway, like your feed intake. So how much feed per year or per crop you've used. Egg numbers, again, if you haven't got that data, just phone up your packer and they're quite easily to give it to you. So in general, really, most farmers would have all that data that they need. But the information that we got back, which surprised me the most, was how high the feed did contribute to how high our emissions are. That was up over 80-odd%, which is phenomenal. As in, how can we bring that down ourselves on farm is very difficult. I think the feed companies might have to start looking at other ways of bringing that down with different diets perhaps. But you know, we'll see what happens in the future. I think they're already thinking about it, and moving forward, that's the way that it will be going. We'd love to get our carbon footprint down more and more. I think it's quite important to have a look at this. I think it's got to work for you, for your business. You're not just going to do it for the fun of it, it's got to work. Going forward, I think getting carbon footprint right down is a huge marketing toy for the packers, for the supermarkets. That's what they're all going to be pushing at. So, you know, let's have a bit more incentive to get down that route, and I'm sure people will be jumping for joy to do it. The biggest one we would do is put more solar on the chicken sheds. I think that's a must. Hopefully they will get the grid sorted, but could be 5-6 years away. And then hopefully by then batteries have come in and the better technology, so we could be completely self-sufficient then. Otherwise with the land, we've planted now 80% of the farm with trees. So going forward, what else we could do? Not sure that there is much else we can do. You know, we've got a few ponds, we run along a river, but we've also got to be careful of bird flu and other diseases like that. So going forward, we'll see. The sooner we get clarification from the government of what they're looking for as in the environmental grants or such things as what is going to be out there, the sooner we know that and we can work that in with our own individual businesses, the sooner people are going to take it up. But until we don't know what's happening, people aren't going to invest that infrastructure to see what the outcome is. I think the sell market is there. I think it's advertising that you can show how much your carbon footprint is down with your eggs. It's just a boost. For the future, I've got 2 little girls, so obviously if some reason that they don't want to go into the egg side of things, they've then got a woodland that they could open the doors to other aspects, but it's a fantastic environment for them to be brought up and surrounded by, so that's why we've done it as well. We're maxed out as it is. We've got triple SI woods not far away, so obviously with the ammonia emissions and all the rest of it, that stops us from building any more sheds. And all the land that we've got is tied up with the 2 poultry houses that we've got anyway. So, and then it's all planted with trees, so going forward there isn't much else we'll be doing at this moment in time. Definitely, I think there's something out there for sustainability with other producers. I think they obviously need to know and learn more about it, of what the benefits are. I think once the benefits are out there and it works for their businesses, I'm sure that more and more farmers will take up similar approaches to what we've done.